Tom Curran's Patriots Talk Podcast.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into Tom Curran's Patriots Talk Podcast. It's Tom Curran, fresh as a daisy off of impromptu 20-minute nap. Phil Perry here. Chris Forsberg, I'm apologizing to you in advance. I didn't hear anything you said on the conference call. I just went straight out. But that's neither here nor is it there. We got some red zone passing in today's practice. We're going to go in depth on that. Red zone passing, low and high. Also some good news and some bad news along the offensive line, and a new wrinkle on offense. How'd the offense look today? Josh Dobbs, why don't you tell us?
We want to score every play in the red zone. We want to take shots, throw the ball in the end zone. But the defense is going to run some good coverages, and we got to know when. We got to check it down, take care of the football. So I thought the offense did a really good job of that. There's definitely plays that we could have made that me, Drake, and Ben, we thought we could have taken advantage of some one-on-one matchups a little earlier in practice. But it's great to see us respond into practice, really have a smooth drill in the low red zone. So it's a key. It's a double-edged sword. We want to take care of the football in the red zone, score a lot of points, but also manage the game well.
But also manage the game well. That was Josh Dobbs. I'm Tom Curran. That's Phil Perry. Phil, what'd you see from the red zone today? You know what? I like to just say what I see and then have it confirmed by Phil. It seems so far like it's a very 50-50 split. Offense is winning some, defense is winning some. Nobody's getting hand over the other.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of it, Tom. And I think Dobbs was right in terms of the low red zone stuff late in the practice. I had more wins for the offense. It did start maybe a little bit slowly for Drake Maye and his group. He had an incompletion to Pop Douglas, nice pass breakup by Jabril Peppers. Then there was an incompletion to Steph Diggs. You, my friend, were all over that one. It looked like he ran out of bounds. Illegal touch came back in. Looked like a touchdown. You may see him get credit for that touchdown elsewhere. He doesn't get credit for it here, okay? Because we are nothing if not sticklers for the rules of the game of football. However, after that, Josh Dobbs kind of lit it up. Touchdown to Javon Baker, one of the plays of the day. Touchdown to Kendrick Bourne. Touchdown to G. Scott, undrafted rookie out of Ohio State. And then Drake Maye finished up with a couple of touchdowns to Pop Douglas and a laser throw to the back end line to Kayshon Boutte. So a very strong finish for the offense, Tom. And just thinking back a year, 2 years, 3 years, very consistently, first couple days of padded practice, the defense would dominate here on the fields behind Gillette Stadium. Not the case these last couple days. They've been trading punches.
Yeah, it's funny, too, because I was so conditioned by watching the defense start hot and the offense wander around, couldn't find its ass with both hands, that I was like, okay, well, it's probably going to be next week. It's going to be a beatdown for the offense. It has not been that way so far. What do you attribute that to?
Well, number one, I think you've got better talent offensively here, and specifically on the offensive line. So you and I would be sitting there watching practice, and whether it's Drake Maye or Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi, passes would get completed here or there, but you'd see rep after rep after rep. Well, he might have been sacked there. Oh, yeah. There was another pressure. Oh, there's a linebacker who just waltzed through the offensive line. Nobody accounting for him.
Couldn't find anyone.
Drake Maye would have had his head taken off on that particular touchdown throw. That's not happening. I think it's because the offensive line play with Will Campbell, left tackle, that helps. He had a good day today. The interior of the line has performed well. I think Mike Oweno has quietly had a good camp. So the line has been much better, Tom, in my opinion, and that's led to overall success for people on that side of the ball.
Just a quick aside, you guys know how hot it is out. I think the heat index is 111. It's 95 right now here. But I think it's important to note that we were able to find the only sliver of sunshine on this entire concourse. It's all shaded. We're standing right here in the sun. I talked to Moose about it. Moose said, suck it up. Just get in there and do a gosh darn podcast. So that's what we're doing. I talked about good news and bad news. Thank you, Jeremy. I talked about good news and bad news. Morgan Moses left practice. Could be a management situation. There was no limp. There was no signs of duress. He left practice, so that might be a management day for an older fella. Then at the end of practice, we saw center Garrett Bradbury limped off after a stacked-up situation in the middle of the line on an Antonio Gibson run. He didn't return. It was late in the practice, but he was walking around kind of going, does this hurt? Yeah, this hurts.
Looked like it hurt.
Yeah, never went into the rehab tent. But good news from the two rookies, so take me through.
Yeah, I thought a really good day, especially in the one-on-ones. If you were into one-on-one reps, between the offensive and defensive linemen, today was the practice for you. They had more than 30 of them. Jared Wilson, to me, was the star of the show. He won all three of his matchups, had a chance to go up against the two best interior defenders the Patriots have to offer. He beat, and I think handily so, Christian Barmore twice. He beat Milton Williams once early in the one-on-one period. Very strong day for him. And Tom, that matters because he's the next guy up. If Garrett Bradbury misses time because of whatever injury he suffered today, quite frankly, even if he doesn't miss time, Jared Wilson's pushing to start, whether it's at center or left guard. To me, he was the star there. Will Campbell, I thought, won decisively his 2 one-on-one reps as well. The first one coming against Keon White, that to me mattered. He got thrown around a little bit by Keon White yesterday, if you were following our coverage from yesterday. And he also won a rep against K'Lavon Chaisson, so got to show some strength against Keon White, trying to bull rush him. Showed some really good athleticism, I thought, against Chaisson, kind of chasing him around the edge of the pocket and past the quarterback. So I thought it was a better day for both rookies today in the second padded practice.
Cole Strange also continues to quietly look good on the left-hand side, so it'll be good for the Patriots if there's any issue with Bradbury that perhaps Wilson can jump in there, and Strange looking pretty solid there as well. Campbell looking fine, and when it was Phil alluded to. We'll see about Morgan Moses. Huge, older fella. He has a tough matchup in this camp with a guy like Harold Landry, who's basically a water bug defensive end. But I want to ask you, you do so much work on the draft. Is this a surprise to you with Jared Wilson in terms of his draft position and where he came from?
It is a little bit of a surprise because of how Jared Wilson got to this point. And it's a great question by you.
Tell the kids.
The reason I say that is because he was relatively inexperienced at Georgia. The MO, the rap on Wilson was very good feet, former soccer player, really good athlete. So athletically, the fact that he can stay in front of somebody like a Milton Williams, for instance, not necessarily surprising to me. But with no help, Tom, against 2 guys who played a lot of football in Barmore and Williams, to have the technical savvy to be able to stay in front of those guys, to me, is indicative of somebody who is sort of beyond their years just based on the experience he had in the college game. I thought he might get to the pros and be a little raw because he only played really 1 year at Georgia. But for him to step up, second day of padded practice, and shut down 2 of the best defensive players the Patriots have, that's eye-opening.
And when I say tell the kids, of course he was going to tell the kids, but I just wanted you to mention 4th-round pick, Georgia.
3rd-round pick.
Excuse me, 3rd-round pick. See, that's why you're here for me. Human safety net. But he's a bigger guy, too. He's a bigger guy than Andrews. He's a bigger guy than he's Copen-esque. Copen's a pretty big center.
Yeah, his strength was his strength, right?
Yeah, Bill. Thank you. Meanwhile, Drake Maye, he plays quarterback for the Patriots. Josh Dobbs had a good shut-him-up day. He looked pretty good in the red zone especially. But Drake Maye, how was his day?
Yeah, May Watch is going to be coming at you on NBCSportsBoston.com very soon. In 11 on 11s, the numbers don't look great. He was 6 for 13 by my count. Now, one of those passes was the aforementioned Diggs play. Should have been caught. No fault of Drake Maye, so that should be a completion. It wasn't. He also had a beautiful, I thought, back shoulder throw to Kyle Williams that just hit Kyle Williams in the hands and then hit the turf. So a little bit of an ugly drop for the other Patriots, 3rd-round rookie there. So the percentages probably look a little bit better, but I think it's important context, too, for us to just remind the kids. This was a red zone period, so everything gets a little tighter, a little more congested in there. It's harder to have a 70+% completion percentage in there, so the fact that he should have been closer to 60 to me is not necessarily cause for alarm. I also thought he had some really accurate throws, Tom. He hit Kyle Williams deep down the field for a beautiful in-the-bucket touchdown throw. The throw to Booty at the very end I thought was a great throw. Couple of spray misses in there too, so a little bit of an up and down day for Drake Maye.
Let's flip it over to the defensive side of the ball, where we're keeping our eyes and ears to the ground, eyes on the field, ear to the ground, nose to the grindstone, to find out when Christian Gonzalez might be returning. He was at practice just as a spectator. Looked like he had kind of a compression wrap on his leg. Saw him at the end. We went over and autographed some signs for some fans, and I figured I'd try an opportunity right there to just give some sign language. I said, "Hey, Christian." And here's what Christian said. So that didn't really yield much. Mike Wallace wouldn't have been excited. He would have run right up 60 minutes, Mike Wallace. Anyway, so he's down. Indications that I've gotten, and this is they're waiting to see. The hope is, not the expectation, but the hope, of course, is that it's day to day and not week to week. But to me, his absence, along with Carlton Davis' continued absence, I have seen Carlton Davis, the human, twice in the last 24 hours. Both times he was taking part in some rehab football activities, or at least was coming to or going from those activities. So I saw him kind of in the concourse. He was in football uniform. I've seen him. I cited him. But it's not certainly not time to
he's
start.
Not underground.
Yeah, it's not time to start saying it was a horrendous free agent signing, nor is it time to start saying, my God, he has a little hammy. The guy who played 16 games was an All-Pro last year, might not be durable. But
Gonzalez, you're talking about
that's
there, yeah.
Gonzalez. The guy was Davis. But where do we stand?
Well, listen, the cornerback spot with those two guys out should be a spot for a professional receiver room to take advantage. So when we're talking earlier about how, hey, the offense is winning its fair share, let's just keep that in mind as well. You're going against guys like Marcus Jones and Alex Austin on the outside, who I think are both quality in terms of outside corners, quality backups. Both of those guys I think you could trust in a pinch. And then Marcellus Dial is getting a lot of run as sort of an interior player. That's not a group I would want to roll into the season with necessarily, but I would say if you're the Patriots or you're either of those two players, Carlton Davis or Christian Gonzalez, you should want to slow play this. To me, you sort of know what those guys are. You know that they're going to be really important to whatever you're doing defensively whenever the games start to matter. I don't think there's a ton in the way of chemistry that needs to be built up or understanding of the system. Like, these guys are going to be man-to-man corners. It's going to be follow that guy around the field. I want them fully healthy for when they're asked to do that.
Yeah, don't go out there where you're saying, I think it feels pretty good. It feels like it's 70%. It's a friggin' hamstring, okay? It's not a broken bone. Broken bones, once you get what I'm saying, folks. That nap freshened me up, but now the heat is I'm breaking even now. What are you waiting to see? And I ask this question because what I'm waiting to see is they've done some red zone. They've done run game. They've done pass game red zone. What I'm looking forward to seeing is when they line up on the 20 or the 40 and they give the offense situational football and say, march it down. Let's see how you do. Go get a first down. Haven't seen any of that yet, and it's early, but I expect we're going to see it shortly.
Yeah, situationally specific to this point. Red zone the last 2 days with the pads on. My guess is at some point, Tom, we'll see. This is our first camp as, with Mike Vrabel as head coach. Are we going to get some goal line? We used to get a handful of goal line snaps at the ends of these practices occasionally, which were always entertaining. Got to have it situations. I, like you, would like to see some middle of the field, maybe some 2-minute, even some hurry up, just to see how well caught up these guys are on this Josh McDaniels offense and where they stand in terms of being able to understand the nonverbal communication that happens at the line of scrimmage in those sorts of situations. So they'll have the music blaring. Drake Maye will be giving guys hand signals. Does Stephon Diggs know what to do? Because they tried it in OTAs or minicamp, and it was pretty clear to me that he was still learning when it came to that sort of stuff. Hunter Henry, he's going to have it down. My guess is Austin Hooper, as experienced with Josh McDaniels, will have it down. He came back to practice today, by the way, off of PUP. Hooper did. But that's something that I would like to see moving forward from this offense and from the defense, just to see how they handle that particular situation.
It's only 4 practices between now and when the Patriots are going to take the field with the Commanders. We got Thursday, Friday, we got Monday, Tuesday. Oh, it's a Wednesday practice. So it's 5 practices. Okay. I think the game is on Friday.
You know the schedule better than me. I'm one day at a time, baby.
Because Wednesday is the only joint practice. And by then, they're going to want to do some of that situational stuff. So keep your eyes peeled for that if you're coming on down here in the next 2 days. Wonder what they'll be in pads tomorrow after 2 hot days. We'll find out tomorrow. Or I could ask, but they're not going to tell me. Don't want to use a bullet on some stupid question like that. It's not pertinent. What are some of the most solid opinions that you have developed so far that you don't think you're going to waver on? I'm going to give a couple of mine just for the hell of it.
Interesting.
Will Campbell is good. Second one is strange is more than fine. Those are 2.
Okay.
I'm not going to waver
both
on
of those. Those are strong opinions. Will Campbell is good listen, I don't know if anybody was higher on the guy during the pre-draft process than I was. But even I'm going to hold out a little bit longer before I make a determination one way or the other. We've seen 2 fully padded practices.
I just don't think we're going to stand around going, he's swallowing guys in 11-on-11s.
He has done a good job in 11-on-11. Now, I will say this. I lauded him for his work in one-on-ones.
Can I just say, he looks really good in 11-on-11s, like upper tier. Like, wow, that's a good offensive lineman.
So,
not enough? That's why it's an early opinion.
He gave up a sack today in 11-on-11. So, how many plays where they're actually throwing the football was Drake Maye out there for today? And meaning Will Campbell's also out there? 12?
He wants more data.
15? So, if you're giving up a sack every 15 snaps, it's not necessarily a good thing. That's like 4 sacks a game for some teams.
I think he's going to get better. He's a rookie. I don't know if you know that. He just came out of
I think he's going to get better, too. And I like him. Don't tell me that I'm down on Will Campbell, because I'm not. He's in my stock up column for the Stock Watch piece today. So don't try to bully me into that take. I think we do have to see a little bit more.
I wish you were as into him as I was.
Especially against some higher-end edge people. Can we say that? This is not a team that's loaded up with, like, all-pro defensive linemen.
Good point by you. Give me an opinion that you've got that you're not going to waver from.
It feels like bullying. So now I have to make an opinion that I'm not going to waver from.
You know what, Phil?
I've got to just say something and stick to it the rest of the time here.
No, I want you to say, I'm solid on this.
Here are opinions I'm trending toward. How about that? Bully. I think Parker Romo might be a better kicker than Andy Borregales.
Okay, is that a developing opinion?
It's trending in that direction. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the better kicker, period, end of story. Might as well cut Borregales tomorrow. That's what you want me to do. That's not what I'm going to do. Borregales made all 6 of his kicks today. Parker made all 6 of his kicks yesterday. I would just say, if we're looking and we're comparing 6 for 6 days, Parker's was more impressive. The ball jumps off his foot, in my opinion, more than it does Borregales. Borregales hits sort of a low draw, which is moving a lot at times side to side, which I don't think is what you're looking for as a kicker.
Maybe you should have taken a nap, because the assignment's pretty simple. The offense will be an NFL level offense in 2025. It's not that complicated. I'm not wavering. It's going to be an NFL level offense. It means frequent games of 20 points or more.
This also feels like something that you have prepared ahead of time that you didn't tell me you were going to ask me to do.
I rested. What time did I send this email?
You actually had a chance to sleep on
2:48.
I'm out here grinding.
Sent it
I'm writing
2:48.
Stock Watch columns. I got my own opinions that I'm formulating just on the day's
just
practice
because my
itself.
eyes closed doesn't mean my brain's not working. Okay, what feels inconclusive? You need to see more on. My inconclusive, I'll roll through them because I'm prepared.
Okay.
Dobbs concern. I can't tell whether or not I should be concerned because he moved a little bit today and did something. Keyshawn Boutte feels safe. I feel that way, but I'm not conclusively feeling that way. Kicker. I'm not convinced that Borregales has got to go. I'm not convinced that the defense yet is elite. I'm not convinced there's middle of the offensive line stability, although I've seen some. And I'm not convinced in Moses. Yeah. Okay, I want to see more. He got water bugged around.
Certainly fair, because I think he's at times had a hard time dealing with the speed that he's seen from Harold Landry. I'm glad you're saying that Andy Borregales doesn't need to be cut yet. That's a good strong one by you. Nice work. I would be stronger on Keyshawn Boutte than you are. I feel pretty solidly that he's going to make the roster. I don't know how much he's going to contribute, how productive he's going to be in 2025, but he just is starting to do little things, Tom, that are even impressing me.
Like what?
In the red zone, on a pitch to the outside, on a little flare screen to the outside, he's blocking his face off. I love the grit that I saw from Keyshawn Boutte today.
Don't try and out Boutte me.
I'm not sure I ever thought I would say that about Keyshawn Boutte.
Try and out Boutte me.
Who's putting grit and Boutte in the same sentence these days? I guess I am, because I saw that from him today. So good for him on that. I think he's clearly ahead of Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne's got some work to do, man, to make this roster, in my opinion. I know he's got a lot of experience with Josh McDaniels, but he ain't getting used a whole lot. He caught a touchdown today. Good for him. You know who it was from? Josh Dobbs. That's a backup quarterback.
So, Phil, conclusively feeling that Keyshawn Boutte is a better all-around football player, more valuable to the team than Will Campbell. Okay, folks, we had a good time. We have some questions being offered up today. It's Adam Hart. Come on in, Adam. Hi.
Okay, fine. Right.
Can we see him, Phil, Moose, or is he just...
Oh, he's going to get in closer.
All right,
Come on, Adam. Come on, don't be shy.
All right, we've got this.
Say hi to the folks at
Act
home.
like you like us.
Folks at home. This is kind of like two different people, but it's the same topic. Andrew A.M. Polk had a nice day, but no one seems to care. Okay. And then Peter Marshall.
That's from today?
Peter Marshall, he was the host of Hollywood Squares.
And Peter Marshall trade Polk to Penix and the Atlanta Falcons. So I don't know. Is there any trade value for Polk, or are we just keeping him around? What do you
I
think?
highly doubt there's any trade value for him, Tom. I don't know how you feel about it. I do have Polk catching a pass from Dobbs in an 11-on-11 period. He may have done. I was very focused on the linemen during the 1-on-1 period. I was not focused on the pass catchers. So unless he did some amazing things in the 1-on-1s with the pass catchers early in practice today, Tom, I'm not sure where we're getting. He had a great day today. He caught the ball.
I think it's important to note, too, that the greatest catch of the day was made by Jalen Polk. He was 3 yards out of bounds! 3 yards out of bounds.
Wait, Jalen Polk was? Oh, you're right. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's over here.
Continue with that. Yeah.
Nice one-handed catch. Oh, he was scaling the ladder. Came down with it. I was like, he didn't catch that, did he? And then you could see he had it in his hand afterwards, way down the other end of the field. So certainly impressive. I made note of it. It's going to be my wide receiver watch, but didn't didn't register as being mentioned yet because it didn't count.
Yeah, I'm not sure he got 1 foot in bounds. That was a little questionable to me. In terms of the catches that counted, Javon Baker, to me, is making more plays out there than Jalen Polk is. And he had sort of a Randy Moss-esque pluck the football off the top of the helmet.
Yeah, the wide
with Marcellus
receivers.
Dial in coverage. I thought Baker might have had his best practice as a Patriot today.
To me, it was very much in that compressed area, red zone. 50-50, which is kind of what you look for. I mean, it just felt like they were swimming upstream all the time the last couple of years in trying to get open guys down. And you'd be, oh, this defense is something else. No, not exactly. We got any more?
Yeah, this one I think speaks to Phil just being kind of cranky. I feel like those shirts would be more comfortable if they were cotton. It's a natural fiber. It breathes. This is from Dimes and Trays, by the way.
Dropping dimes, shooting trays.
Yeah, imagine being at training camp and your reporters are 5 degrees cooler than the other reporters. That's cotton. What do you think? What do you think about the shirts?
Sounds like a note from Big Cotton. Why are you trying to sell us so hard on cotton, man?
I don't know. It does feel like big cotton. Cotton is not quite as breathable as this. I feel good about it. I think this is a large. Unfortunately, Phil also has a large, and you can see by Phil's rippling muscles that a large just can't house him. Cannot house his entire form. So as a result, you got a guy who's rippling and straining his pectorals, the entire area, delts, the whole nine. Anything else? Did people want to know about Phil lubing up his arms?
No, well that, but they also wanted a water report from Tommy Waters.
Oh, Tommy Waters has done much better today. I'm going to be honest, and I try and stay kind of fit. So I started using the creatine because I've heard, hey, it's good for your mentals. As you get older, it helps you to not lose your lean muscle as much. And sometimes when you get to my age, you actually really literally feel feeble sometimes if you're not eating right and you're not doing any exercise. I feel friggin' weak. So I started the stuff, bought it at the Walmart, and I started taking like a scoop a day or maybe 2, and I found that was like 9 grams because I did half-assed research online. I was taking way too much of it, and I was not only bloated, I was also dehydrated. Got a pulled calf right now. I had a groin situation, and I never pull anything, I swear to God. I'm pretty bouncy for a fella my age. So I finally realized that my hydration has to improve. So sometimes you're going to see me excusing myself for bathroom emergencies, but today I've done better. I moved over to this stuff called Concrete. Okay. It's creatine HCl. You only take a little bit of it as opposed to a big scoop.
Sounds like a good idea.
And it gets absorbed quicker, and it's not going to dry you out as much.
Everything in moderation. And you just, in general, you're a guy who will have, I think, 2 or 3 coffees before you really dedicate any time to any water whatsoever.
Hot coffees.
So, I like that you're taking charge of your health. I like that you're trying to supplement a little bit because I think that's fine to do. Creatine seems to be a very healthy supplement. A lot of studies on that thing. Yeah. And so I'm proud of you. And I think as long as you're drinking more water, we're going to get the groin, the calf, everything else just cleaned right up.
It's crazy. I'm a flexible fella. I can turn, what is it? Adam's laughing. Somebody just sent something and it's kind of amusing.
John put the poll up. Will Tom finish his story in the next 3 minutes?
Okay. Because we're going to give this poll about 12 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
The story's over, though.
The great thing is I'm standing in heat index 111. I have a wide receiver watch to do. I probably have another nap to take, and I'm standing here like a donkey. Guys, thanks for joining us, whoever's left out there. For Phil Perry, I'm Tom Curran. That's Moose behind the camera. That was Adam Hart.
Training Camp Central.
Training Camp Central, 6 o'clock.